Former Navy JAG Officer Kelly Stimson. Kelly, nice to see you again, and good morning to you. As you understand it, what's happening?
Well, they believe that it's possible that Captain Kelly, retired Captain Kelly, who is subject to the UCMJ under Article 2, committed a crime, and so they're going to investigate that. And regardless of whether that proves to be true or not, the fact is that this video undermined good order and discipline. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were essentially wink, wink, nod, nod, telling members of the military that they should reflexively doubt the legality of the Commander-in-Chief's orders. And that's where they crossed the line politically.
Okay, all right, a couple of things here. Jack Keane was with us yesterday, and we asked him about that whole thing about chain of command that you mentioned, all right? Here's Jack Keane on that.
These are irresponsible, reckless political leaders, and I normally don't go after political leaders in our country, but they deserve it now. They're absolutely undermining the military chain of command. And who do they think our soldiers are? They're insulting the intelligence of our soldiers and their moral commitment to serve the nation by making these outrageous statements.
Kelly, what do you make of that right there?
Well, the general's correct, as usual. And the fact is that there's one commander-in-chief, and only one. And the proper way to litigate these policy disputes is either, for one, Congress to reclaim their war powers in Article 1, Section 8 and declare war or authorize the use of military force. Therefore, the president has the top authority under the Congress's passing of that type of law, or litigate these issues, which are happening in states where people are calling up National Guards. And so imagine, Bill, the scenario where Republican members of Congress would have issued the same type of warning to members of the military when we sent 25,000 troops to Haiti under President Clinton, saying you should reflexively question that when Congress didn't authorize that authorization. And there's scores of other issues in times in our history when the president sends troops into harm's way and Congress didn't authorize it. So this is the wrong way to go about this.
Okay, I think here's the critical soundbite. We played it yesterday. Here is Alyssa Slotkin when she was asked about it on ABC on Sunday. Keep in mind the key word here is illegal. Roll this.
Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Okay, so you can address that, Kelly. And while you do that, if you were to investigate Senator Kelly now, it would have to go back to his time as active duty in the military, correct?
No.
No? Okay, then what would that be?
You can recall somebody who's retired, receiving retirement pay. I'm a retired Navy captain, he's a retired Navy captain, and bring them back on active duty and charge them with a crime. And it doesn't have to just be a military crime. It can be any federal or state crime under the Federal Assembly's Crime Act. But the problem is that when we've recalled people to active duty to prosecute them, almost in every instance it's been for a crime they committed while they were on active duty. Not in this situation where he's a senator giving a speech, not covered by the speech and debate clause because it wasn't a core legislative function. And so I don't think any military jury is ever going to convict this guy ever. So I think the punishment here is the process and ultimately not prosecute him or bring him back on active duty.
Let me try and just squeeze in one more question at the time that we have. There are some who have theorized that Democrats are setting up the commander-in-chief, President Trump, if they were to lose the House in the second half of this term, that they could go after him on something. Have you heard about that? What would fit that possible theory?
Well, that he is issuing illegal orders or acting outside the bounds of the four corners of his power as the commander-in-chief. The problem with that theory is that the Office of Legal Counsel in DOJ has already issued a classified memo, for example, saying that the strikes on boats in international water is lawful under the national interest test from previous OLC opinions. So they'd have to point to something other than what the current situation is.
Okay, Kelly, thanks. Really appreciate your intel on all that. To be continued.